The Chicago Sky made several moves this offseason, moves that theoretically should put the Chicago Sky in a better position to win now. But then looking at the Chicago Sky's draft, it's clear development is still a focus for the Chicago Sky. So the question I want to ask today, are the Sky in a better position to win now than where they were when they ended last season? We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. I'm the host here, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chicago Sky Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And I want to discuss the state of the Chicago Sky, kind of set some expectations, see how everybody's feeling in regards to this. The Sky have made several moves this offseason, and I'm going to bury the lead here. I think the Sky have done a really good job at striking the balance between competing now and development for the future as well. I think when you look at the Sky's moves, you'll see moves that are considered win now moves. You see moves that are moves for the future that also can contribute to now. There's a lot going on with the Chicago Sky, and I really want to spend some time talking about it, getting your guys' thoughts and feelings on it as well. But when you look at it, the Chicago Sky, who initially had the third overall pick in this draft, traded that to get Ariel Atkins to this team, right? And you look at who Ariel Atkins is, you know, the fact that she did play with Angel Reese over in Unrivaled, which still got to apologize to you guys that we didn't get as much Unrivaled coverage as we wanted to this offseason. Balancing was not as easy as I thought it was going to be with the Bulls season, but we got a better plan for next year. But you look at Ariel Atkins, a career 13-point per game scorer, right? So Ariel Atkins isn't the type of scorer that's like a go-to scorer, right? She's still a damn good player, make no mistake about it. And I think on the Sky, she even could score more than maybe what she's done at other stops along her career. Last year, 14.9 points per game, the second highest scoring total of her WNBA career. She's a career 42% shooter from the field and 36% shooter from three. The Sky did need some scoring. They did need some shooting. Ariel Atkins at 5'10", 162 pounds is going to bring that for the Chicago Sky. That was kind of the initial move to open up this offseason for the Sky. And while there are some people that didn't understand it at the time because of the players that were shaped up to be in this draft, I think after the draft now, you kind of look at that move and understand that the Sky made a pretty solid move, right? And on top of that, the Sky still have the Connecticut Sun pick for next year, which is going to put them in a position to have another high draft pick next year. And it doesn't come down to whether they win or lose. That's based off the Connecticut Sun record. And that's what I think is the start of this, right? Jeff Pagliosha had some forward thinking to realize I don't want to lavish around and just focus on development. I want to make a move. And in getting that move and having that pick, it now puts you in a position to have a top 5, top 8 pick, however it ends up going, without it being dictated by your record. So meaning if the Sky do make it to the playoffs, they can still have a very high pick to add to this draft, right? That's the same offseason that the new collective bargaining thing goes into place, all that type of thing. So getting Ariel Atkins as a veteran to come into the Chicago Sky team, and especially with how the draft ended up shaking out with players returning back to college basketball, ended up really working out for the Sky. Not maybe as good as some people would hope. Maybe it didn't play out the way that people hope, but I think it was a really good decision that it ended up being, whether it was intentional or just looked up that way, ended up working out in the Chicago Sky's favor, right? Then you got to look at what the Sky did in the draft, right? You're getting Aisha Civica, I believe is how you pronounce it. I had it the other day, but I haven't said it in a couple days now. But that is a move that absolutely is a move that is built for the future, but she also can contribute now. Jeff Pagliosha, after the draft, talked about the fact that this isn't just something where they see her playing a big role down the line. They want to see her come over. Now, he did say that they weren't necessarily fully certain if she will come stateside this year, so we'll see what happens in that. But she's 19. Even if it is a draft and stash, right, if that ends up being the way that it shakes out, that you look at her ability to put the ball on the floor, to play the 3, to play the 4. She really is kind of like the female Modest Buzelis for my Bulls fans, and I really like it when it comes down to it. So I think that's a really good move by the Chicago Sky. They then get Haley Van Lith with the 11th overall pick, and it's going to take some time to adapt, right? And you're still going to have to figure out whether she's a point guard or shooting guard, but that's where it gets into where the Sky did something very good at. They brought back Courtney Vandersloot, a Chicago sports legend, a Chicago Sky legend, which affords you the the year to really have Haley Van Lith acclimate to the WNBA league, right? So she's still going to play. I think she's still going to get a lot of minutes for this team. She could end up playing a larger role as the season goes on, but you're not necessarily thrusting her in there and telling her to figure out the point guard position. You got two veteran guards in Sluty and Ariel Atkins there for the Chicago Sky. And again, that helps the learning curve. What does that do? You got two veterans there. One a great three-point shooter and a great passer in Courtney Vandersloot, which is two areas where the Chicago Sky needed help at last year. You have a scorer in Ariel Atkins who can also help you. She's an isolation scorer. She can create her own shot, those type of things. But you've also gotten a player in Courtney Vandersloot that can get the ball to Angel, that can run a pick and roll with Camila Cardoso, that can stretch the floor, right? So again, living in both worlds. They got a player in Haley Van Lith that could end up being their point guard of the future, but you have to give her that time to figure out what is her position going to be. If she ends up being a shooting guard, Ariel Atkins is only under contract for 1 year. You have to make that decision after that, right? So again, the Sky living in two worlds and doing it very well as far as having players that can contribute and play now, but also development is still not out of the way. The Sky can still focus on development, which Tyler Marsh has said that this team still wants to do, right? Then you look at what the Sky continue to do in this draft, right? Bringing in Maddie Westbell to this team, and that's a player that can definitely contribute right away for this team. I don't really have any doubts about her ability to contribute. I think she's going to come in and immediately maybe even challenge Michaela Oniwerde for some of those starting minutes. Now, that would be a very big front line. I still think she's more of a 4 than a 3, but with her ability to even back up Angel Reese, you're going at contrast styles there. Maddie Westbell can either play with Angel Reese. You can move Angel down to the center at times when Camila needs to start. But Maddie Westbell can also play the 4 and help stretch the floor and provide more space for Camila Cardoso, right? Again, really good pickup. And she still has tremendous upside as well in this. And then the other player, right? Asa Kalabale, who many people have said she's not going to make the roster because she's injured, things like that. I tend to think that the Chicago Sky draft her because they see something. One thing that Jeff Pagliosha has not done yet is use a draft pick just for somebody that he expects to cut. Now, we know that Bruna Maxwell, it happened last year with her. That was because she got hurt. It wasn't because Jeff Pagliosha did not plan for her to be part of the rotation there for the Sky. It's just the circumstances that it ended up going, right? Keep in mind, in all of this, you still have two players in Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese that started for you last season that are coming into this. You look at how Angel worked on her game in Unrivaled. They're coming into this situation, hopefully taking second-year leaps, right? And that's a big thing in this as well. I think that what they've done here has been a very smart thing on balancing being able to compete now, giving your players the best opportunity to win now, surrounding them with veterans, right? We've seen that happen in the NBA. We've seen that happen in the WNBA, right? If you surround young players with veterans, it helps them get over the learning curve. It helps them in moments and maybe situations that they haven't been in before to try to overcome that, right? That's everything that they've done here. I think that Jeff Pagliosha, somebody who I initially came into this very, very hard on, and he's still got stuff that he needs to prove as well, but the Sky have operated this very well, right? Very, very well. You still look at the average age of our roster. We're still a very young team, despite adding Rebecca Allen at 32 years old, despite adding Courtney Vandersloot at 36 years old. This is still a very young team. And the players that shape up to be the biggest part of their rotation are young. We're talking about 21, 22, 23-year-old players that still have most of their WNBA careers ahead of them. That's what this team has done. And I think they've done a really good job of trying to figure it out, right? And I can't wait to see the Chicago Sky take the court this season in the preseason and really see how these players have really stepped up and grown from last season, right? We got Joshua Lincoln who says, hell yes, I agree with you, Joshua. First Degree Sports says, my dogs, go Sky. We appreciate you, brother. Bulls Daily, all well, family, hit the like on the way. And do you just got that copy and pasted on your clipboard and you just pasted it at the start of everyone? Appreciate you, brother. I think this is a development year. I think it's both, right? I think that the Sky are going to, like, development is still the focus. But if Camila and Angel come in, for example, and they've taken really big leaps, I think that it also has set them up to be in a position to win now and win now with veterans that are supporting your young players, right? I think that's the thing. You didn't bring veterans to take over everything. Even Ariel Atkins as a scorer, right? It's not like she averaged 18 shots per game or anything like that. That's just not the way that she plays, right? She's a player that plays within the framework of the game. She averages 11 shots per game over her career. That's not hard to work in there, right? Alex says they got 19 people on the roster. Crazy. Yeah, they just brought in 2 more players as well for training camp deals, which I'll have a separate video on that. But yeah, they brought in some other players on training camp deals. That I think is really good and a good option there. Like that again, that still shows that the Sky are still looking at opportunities and players that can develop. I think that's really smart for the Chicago Sky team. Keep bringing in guys. They brought in Sammy Pulisic, who's a guard, and Tilly Bowler to training camp contracts, which they're hoping to help some perimeter play, perimeter offense, things like that. We'll see. They're both really good shooters. And that's a really good thing. You look at Pulisic, I think is how you pronounce her name, 24. She played at South Florida last year. She transferred from Florida State the year before that. 6'1", 150 games in college. She averaged 15.2 points per game last year, shot 39.8% from three-point range, which is really good. Boiler played for Memphis last season. She's also 6'1". She averaged 16.6 points per game last season for Memphis and 37% from three-point range. So the Sky taking a look at more shooting. So the perspective from Brooklyn, shout out to Brooklyn, says, Haize, my G, what's going on, Brooklyn? We appreciate you, brother. 54 people watching, only 18 likes. Everyone spam the like button. Drip, why they get rid of Kennedy Carter? Personality things, I think, is really what it comes down to. Things have come out since that's happened. It seems like personality and locker room things may have been the issue there. It seems like there may be some maturity issues there. I would have still loved to see Kennedy Carter still in the Sky uniform, but it is what it is. She's Ty says Sky's in a much better position this season than they were last season. They're building the perimeter around Angel and Camilla. They're spacing the floor. I think it's great. Agree with you. Did you see Candace Parker film study room on HVL? It honestly made me less mad about that pick. Listen, and that's why me and Steve-O, it's not that we hate the Hailey Van Lith pick in a vacuum, right? We had some questions about the fit next to Ariel Atkins and things like that. But then, like I said, as we thought about it and we talked through it, like Hailey Van Lith isn't like they're going to give her a year to figure out which position she is. And I think that's a really good spot to be in as well. She don't if she wants to come to the States. Yeah, we'll see if she comes over. HVL improved greatly as a point guard in TCU. Under Sloot and Tyler, she's going to be great. And that's what you got to bet on, right? You got to bet on and believe in the new coaching staff that you brought in here. Part of the reason why you went with Tyler Marsh is because of his history of development, right? Is because of the part that he's played in the Las Vegas Aces getting to the place that they were in, right? Those type of things you want to hope that he's going to bring that over to Chicago as well. Camilla Carter, Kennedy Carter. Oh, I can't. I listen. I want to read your comment. I don't know Spanish. So I apologize. Sky's a lot better than they were. Yeah, for sure. Siska says she's excited to come play for the Sky, but she's in EuroLeague. She may come next year. Maddie could be a replacement for her, which is smart. Exactly. Which is smart. Which is very, very smart. I'm late. You already talked about the 2 new ones that got signed to trade. I just talked about them. I think we will be a team that nobody wants to face in the playoffs, just not the favorite. I think Angel and Camilla in year 2 are going to give a lot of front court tail. Let's hope so. I completely agree. I've been telling everyone who will listen, Jeff and Tyler know what they're doing. Yeah, it really seems like they're being very intentional about the way that they're building this team, and that gives me a lot of hope. I'm so happy with the draft. They have scoring and defense now. Watch out now. We'll see. Tyler knows what winning looks like. He knows what key pieces are needed to win. They're doing what needs to be done. People aren't giving this coaching staff due credit. And you know what, Ty, I think that just comes down to we haven't seen it yet, right? We've seen it over in LA, right? And some people just are always going to have doubt until they see it done for their team. And I understand that to a degree, right? I understand that. Happy Wednesday. I think it's a bit early to be super happy. HVL pick isn't bad, but it doesn't make me jump for joy. And I mean, and that's fine to say, right? It's perfectly fine and reasonable to say, hey, I want to take a more wait and see approach, right? That's reasonable. This is not the channel where we're going to be like, if you're a real fan, you're going to be all in on what they like. No, I think that's stupid. I think people who look at somebody being critical of their team and try to say things like, you're not a real fan because you're being like, that's stupid. You have the right to be critical of something. Right now, all that we say is that be fair. The only place where it gets into a bad spot is that if you're not fair in it, meaning that let's say HVO does have a great season. You're like, I still don't like her. I don't believe in it. That's where it starts getting to a weird place. But, we're going to be open with it, right? We're going to see where it's going to go. I just joined. Did I miss anything important? Any updates? No real updates other than the fact that we signed 2 players to training camp deals. But, it is what it is there. I don't think they are betting on HVL being a point guard. Both for Even and Olivia are coming out next year. And that very well could be true. That very well could be. And that's why I did say, like, they're giving it a year to see what position it seems like HVL is going to turn into. Now, I will say this. If she doesn't turn into a point guard, her size at shooting guard is concerning, right? Let's make no mistake about that. But we'll wait and see where it's going to go, right? We'll wait and see where it's going to go. Sauce. Oh, wait. What happened there? Saul says the Sky are in development contending mode, as in contend for the playoffs, not the championship. Fair point. That's where we're going to end it at today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wouldn't usually do a longer live stream, but I got to get ready to go live call the Chicago Bulls playing game. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to be a lot more consistent with the content around here now that we're gearing up for training camp and the season. So make sure you guys stay in tune with us for that. You can follow us at Chicago Sky Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoSkyPod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related.